right from senior, maybe senior 1 up to senior 6. They are divided into families. And each family is having a family head who happens to be a teacher or teachers.
Yes.
Then they have the roles of the teachers to monitor those students who have been according to him. Then maintain behavior, what, those are indisciplined, they can conquer behavior change.
So assigning family friends or a support teacher to attend to some learners is a good idea, so that the teacher is able to monitor through, guide, mentor, and so take concerns to the persons who are involved, with not complain in private, and keep silent in public. But the person who is involved, who is concerned, should be involved. Avoid venting in the workroom or with other individuals. How do we avoid venting? So let me read for you the meaning of venting here. Give free expression or to in brackets strong emotion. Provide with an outlet for air, gas, or just avoid venting. But the first one is give free expression, that is vent. That in practice here, when you're talking about this in this context, is sharing or letting negative emotions out. Yes. So you share negative emotions. You've visited a school community where you go for a VD, and the VD turns to be a fighting day between the parent and the child. You want to get to grab the boy or the girl and kick.
Because of the misconduct of the child.
Almost everything that they have been talking about the child are bad. They are letting you know you're just wasting what? Tuition. And it can also happen with learners with special needs. You go to the school, and how is he performing? We don't know how to tell you now. What to tell you? He has worsened. Eh?
No progress.
He has worsened. Everyone in the class is complaining. But he's really a bad boy. A bad. Mm. So at least it's good to give proper information, but not to kill faith and courage. Mm. So the learner has not yet handled this, so he gets indulged in these activities. So we are working on to have the learner do this and that. So way forward. There's even a way forward, because the person has brought the child to school as a solution to the problems you're narrating. So if the school has not solved, then either you're calling upon the parent to intervene in some aspects, so it is guidance. You also need to tell the child to do this. In a holiday, take the child to this place, so that you're giving a way forward other than exposing negativity to the extent that the parent leaves the school environment knowing there is nothing good they are going to do. other than keeping the child to be as he is. Then maintain respect for students that we have seen, give breaks and standardize their schedules. If it is if it is break time and maybe 10 minutes are late, it's 10 minutes late, you let them complete the other remaining part. And you know that that schedule is fixed. Other than when you keep varying schedules of breaks, they will take it for granted that anytime you can have break. And then education staff for working should have the same purpose. That's why we have to be with meetings where we share the same interest, same goals, same purpose. And anybody deviating from that becomes an enemy to the child. Create lifelong learners who can manage themselves to the best of their abilities. Also, showing these learners they have potentials in them, yes, but then they should know that learning is not enclosed in the perimeter walls of the school, but everywhere they go, they should be learning. And even the teacher who has that in perspective will ask a learner to demonstrate what he has learned outside the school, to do it for others, and These tips can help a special needs educator to 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 have uh, to support tips for guiding learners. in a special needs in a special education needs. It is important to show great commitment to the learner. That's one key aspect. The learner can also see the teacher has no commitment for me. In a special education need, the learner can say the teacher has no interest in me, and they can really detect it. They give up on you and give you space to do what you wish. So their concerns will never be expressed to you again. Stop learners from laughing at their peers who have special education needs. The other one has a 66 mean finger somewhere on the hand. Then they laugh because they have never seen it anywhere. Then when they are laughing, you say, they will stop laughing by themselves. That is not advisable. You've got to tell them that their actions are really not good and that they should not laugh at it at all. Then you will hear people reporting to you who has laughed. Um, don't punish learners with special needs for things that cannot be controlled. Mm. I think in schools we have even set up a regulation not to punish learners. But talk to them and find a way of how to handle. Speak calmly, kindly, and patiently with a clear voice using simplified language. There are some instances where you find a teacher is harsh to a certain learner. The voice changes when it comes to that learner. Sit a less able learner with more able peers who can help him or her with some pages or with some words or explain more. That is now sitting that learner with others. That's support. Then consider the seating arrangement of learners with disabilities. They can pile themselves together somewhere. So you say, please come and sit here. Today you're going to sit with me. And others have to accommodate. Move around the class checking what learners are doing. You can also choose to write exercises directly into the learner's book to save them from having to copy, especially those who have such challenges. That is it. These are general classifications of disabilities. These ones we've looked at them. Could be visual, hearing, mental, physical. These are 4 Ds of impairments. Okay. So they can be either dysfunctions, disorders, deviances, or danger. Another one can look at them in terms of 4 Ds. Dysfunction means either a body part is not working. Disorder, a disconnect within the system. This is deviance, from deviation. One's behavior or social interaction deviates from all the others. Not necessarily that it is it's a disability, but it is a deviation. Then what you call danger is especially when someone has an issue that you cannot manage, you cannot contain there, that you try to integrate that person in that community, you end up destroying.
It tends to be well.
Yes.
That means that person
There are even others who are injected to arrest to calm them down. To calm them down. Others are sedated for some time. These are factors that affect human development. There could be genetic factors, others call them biological factors or inheritance. These are where you can see that hinder human development.
Doctor,
Yes?
is it not, I don't know why you are saying lack of enough. Isn't it okay if you say inadequate sleep?
It is the same. It is just a slight English problem.
Sunglasses.
It's okay if you said inadequate sleep.
Not the same. Lack of, it means there is totally enough. Inadequate, somebody had, but it wasn't enough. Sunglasses.
Factors that what is that word?
Factors
Hinder.
that hinder human development.
So these ones, if you are to wear sunglasses, they have got to be prescribed for your eyes. And mm, no, mm.
We are gonna have
And there is
focus.
even a connection between the eyes and the brain, because these nerves go, the optic nerves go to the brain.
Yeah, they have a connection.
So if they distort the brain can misinterpret everything you see.
Human development.
Yes, this one is this one is visual and brain and mm, this is prenatal. This is happening at prenatal stage before birth. You smoke as a mother, even the child inherently smokes and gets drunk in the stomach, in the womb.
So when he comes out when he's a drunkard, you don't even ask.
Yeah,
Mm.
the mind has been distorted. Even the child is addicted to alcohol. This is alcohol uptake. Then loss of oxygen, which we call anoxia. That's oxygen when the child is not able to breathe adequately. Mm.
Anoxia.
Asphyxia. Asphyxia is when the child does not get oxygen when he's alive here, and then starves and collapses. That is asphyxia. Kuzira. What they call kuzira.
How do you call this? If somebody is for example, overexcited, he faints.
That is uh,
I had a
overexcitement,
teacher,
and
we
the person.
surprised her.
Mm.
Instead of getting happy, she collapsed.
Is it anxiety?
The what? Surprised.
Mm.
Yes.
That is
But some people are not used to it.
No, it was not. But she had finished nursery teaching diploma. So we showed her that we are not going even to do anything. Yeah? So we were preparing inside. Like we got a Friday. She was sitting in class, unaware of anything.
Uh-huh.
We came with a cake singing. Mama, she just collapsed. Twamugira n'avaayo n'agibya ate twabikoze.
mm,
Like she didn't know that we are doing anything. Everybody was like, yeah, you
Are
are
you with
finished.
me?
No, there's nothing we can do for you. So what can we do for you? But inside
it's
we are
excitement
preparing.
which will cause a seizure.
And for us, she had given up.
Seizures.
It is
Nainga.
okay.
Yeah.
So it's like maybe it is okay to brother.
It is
Not anything
okay.
for me. It's okay. What can I do? I can't force them.
But I think also hypertension can cause
But
that.
she doesn't have hypertension.
Eh,
Pressure she doesn't have.
okay.
Maybe she didn't know.
It's anxiety.
After I told her to go to the hospital.
Then there could also be those
Mpaka
physical
pressure
ones
nayo
which are postnatal after birth. You can disabilities can be postnatal factors. After birth, the person gets sick, or We have looked at that. These ones we would like to look at in our conclusion here. The theories. The theories. This is called the attachment theory. Attachment theory, proposed by Bowlby John, has two forms of attachment. It's what we call secure attachment and insecure attachment. That some children can get attached. They feel like if they attach to somebody, they are secure. Or they can also be attached because they are not secure. They can attach to somebody because they feel enough love there, enough care and attention. And they can be distressed, they can be stressed because that person is not around. They can lose concentration. They even can demand to shift to those people. And again, there is also insecure attachment, where the person attaches him or herself to somebody because he's feeling insecure with other people. There is not enough care with them, so attaches himself or herself to you due to insecurity. But when I'm there, they will do me this, so I have to be here. Not enough love, no attention given to the person by others. By the end of the day, this person gets attached. But the reason you need to find out, is it because the person is feeling secure by being with me? And could it be either because he's insecure with others? You send the child, you go to the office, but doesn't want to go there. Looks around, and then doesn't go because he's insecure. Or to accompany, yes. So you have to find out that so that you could improve, you could help the child.
Is it also connected to these people who don't want to go back home?
Yeah. Either they are insecure at home or they are, yes, mistreated at home, or they are feeling like at school that's where home should be. So to make sure that learners do not get insecure attachments, by the age of 2, they should be attached to a caregiver. They should have somebody who is with them. When they lose it, they'll always attach themselves to somebody who may not be helpful to them. I happen to have my daughter by age 6, 7, she always wanted to be with me, and I could not have that enough time to be with her. By the time I would visit, she would come and sit on me. And now recently, now she's in primary 7. When I went back home, I carried her. She's heavy. I carried her to my laps, and she was feeling like I shouldn't. I mean, no.
Whatever, but what I know, girl, child, I always have that attachment.
And I was always thinking, I'm far away from her, and so she's missing attachment. So when I went back, now the mind has shifted. She's in another phase, yeah. These are types of secure attachments, just for your knowledge. Could be reactive, disorganized, anxiety, separation.
batandika next week.
This is Jean Piaget cognitive theory, that as a child grows physically, that child also grows mentally. So by virtue, even when you get a child, and this child is aged six years, and then you select this child be in, because he has not interfaced with kindergarten, let the child be in kindergarten 1. That child will learn faster than others because of age. That by virtue of age, the person learns faster than any other, especially when it comes to children, and they will complete tasks a little earlier than others. That's why some people keep there to get fundamentals for a specific period of time and shift them to a higher class. You keep them there, they will complete tasks, then they don't want to be idle and start causing chaos. Then the teacher will be complaining, yeah, to make themselves busy. So Jean Piaget proposed that children have got to go through 4 stages of cognitive development, which I haven't written here, but instead, unless you want the stages. Eh, those are called those are called domains. So these stages, there's sensory motor. Sensory motor from age 0 to 2. Sensory motor stage. That stage, the child is controlled by actions are controlled by reflexes. They are taken without prior knowledge. By reflexes. However, during that stage, the child's actions are controlled by reflexes, meaning they are automatic actions without prior conscience. They just see if there's light, they can turn the head towards it, they can stretch the hand to touch, but they do not have what we call consequence. The mind has not yet learned consequences. It will burn me, yes. That one is not there. That's why now you have got to know the consequences, extend things which will burn, which will affect the child. So even at that stage,
we have a program called Faith. By the time I was in 1 year and some months, we are not yet acquired electricity, so I raised this water. So they brought it there. She tried to touch it. The mom tried to protect her. Was like, no, you leave her to touch it. The mom went away and left me and her. When she touched it, it burnt her. She realized that it is hot. The following days, she was the one to tell us, Ma, Cha.
Mm.
She was the one that was teaching us as if we didn't know.
That would be good if it is at the age beyond 2,
Yes, yes.
because at age 0 to 1 we consider the child to be an infant, and the child has not yet, even when the child touches, it will burn, but may not over differentiate it with any other, because of course the hand has gone there without prior knowledge.
Doesn't know what effect
Yes,
it's going to come out.
but by after 2, there you can now introduce the concept of consequences. Shh, shh, that's consequences. Huh? Eh, you can stretch the hand to there, and then
These are stages of
a cognitive development of intellect. Other people call it intellectual development.
Is it between 0 to 2 years? Sensor between 0 to 2 years.
Yes.
At 2 or at 1.5, can the child move the hand towards an object rationally? Huh? They move. After seeing a cup, she may want to stretch the hand to touch it. Huh?
even.
Even at 6.
By the way, something it attracts him or her to touch. Even before a year.
Mm.
But it doesn't know the consequence of touching.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ah,
Mm. Mm. Yeah, it is a basin of water. The child is interested in swimming in it. You will not think that I will sink, will go in the basin. If he sinks there, he'll realize after death. Mm. Mm.
the bucket.
Mm.
What was in the bucket? Why is the child there?
Suffocated.
He did have oxygen.
Mm.
He enjoyed the sound, but
Mm.
without knowing the consequences.
Mm.
He couldn't remove.
Mm. D'accord. So at that age, between that age, the child is widely depending on what we call um, eat, sleep, and cry.
It's
But
a
to me,
big
as if even beyond the 2 years,
Mm.
these children have not yet realized the consequence.
Now you have got to initiate. You have to initiate it.
Mm.
8, sleep, play.
Yes.
Have you seen that? Eat, sleep, play, and play. Yeah. even play. Members. So the other stage here, at that stage, we have talked about sensory motor. The child is able to tell colors, especially bright colors, not their names, but can know differentiate colors. Not the bright. This is yellow. In there, the child can differentiate the colors. That's why even colors and shapes, the child can. That's why even smell, the child can smell that here this is the mother, this one is not, and can reject or accept. The shape of the head, this is the person who keeps taking care of me, and can accept the color. Then the other stages you look at this is the stage called the pre-operational stage. That stage is from age 2 to 6. There the child starts developing reasoning, attaches consequences on actions, and even starts numerical reasoning. Now these are many, these are few, little, this is tall, this is short, this numerical reasoning. So the teacher can build upon that. But you see, reasoning is developing, but complex reasoning is not yet developed. So that means the caregiver has got to be able to guide others. You poke your finger in that socket, it is going to burn you. Then there is what we call formal operational stage from age 7 to 12. There the child develops complex reasoning. From 7 to 12. At that stage, the person is able to reason in complex form, and you'll see what the caregiver does during that stage. Then above the age of 12 and above, we call it concrete operational stage. Concrete. That child is said, if is well guided, can produce models, can produce systems, yes, can make their own hypothesis or their own hypothesis and come up with their own concepts above 12. Their own systems, hypotheses, and now this one, there is what we call a biosocial model. Biosocial model. Then we use this one in special needs because biosocial model tells us that a disability does not only affect one domain. It affects most of the domains. So that's why I say this. The social model states that health and illness are shaped by complex interplay of biological, psychological, and social factors. What we see as not going well with the learner could be contributed by more than one factor. For example, a child who has is a time taker in learning, time takers could be a time taker because either there is a physical disability. So, because he has a physical disability, he thinks here that he should not be the attitude is that I should not be associating with those who are not having it. So it is a psychological, it affects the psychological attitude here. And then you find the child is not associating evenly with other members. Because he's feeling that for them they are different. Yes. So you see the challenge is here, but because of a physical problem affecting attitude and at the same time affecting social interaction. So if there is an intervention that has got to be undertaken, you don't only address the issue of physical, but also need to address the belief and attitude issues, then help the child to associate with others. This is a medical model to disabilities. In the medical model, we see the medical model views a disability as an individual challenge or problem, primarily caused by a physical or a mental impairment that needs to be fixed or cured. So with a medical model, you don't look at a physical disability and say that is caused by the society or because of the physical barriers, that's what is happening. This one looks at this is an individual problem. It is with your child.
Single it out.
Yes, it is with your child, not necessarily with the family. And then they subject it to cure or any medical intervention. That's why you'll find that a child could be born with a deformed leg, but the medical model says it is deformed. Yes, the other one will say it is biological, born. So it is physical. The medical model says it is rectifiable. So they can subject it to adjustment, to a surgery, and make it reformed. Yes. So for them, they have that if it is a disability, they consider it to be an individual issue, an individual challenge, and that they not so much associate it with society or environment, but they focus on that problem and seek for ways of emphasizing on cure or normalizing it. You say you cannot see, so you were born when you can't see. Then you say, this is an individual problem. What if we do like this? Are you feeling anything? They they try to find out, and then some of them can do some surgeries on the eye, and then the person says, I am now able to see. There's a grandma who has a visual issue, and she stopped seeing for like 4 years. Then she kept on demanding, I wish I was able to see my children. They hear people. Carry the person who used to see, and then they mobilized finances to Mulago. They checked, and they said there is a tissue which covered the eyes. I think anthrax, something. It's a tissue covered the eyes, and they said this is rectifiable. No, is it anthrax? Something like she can now see, and very well. Like, she goes and in the garden try to cultivate with the little hope. But the time she said, I went to the hospital and she saw me, said, I can see you, you will back.
Yeah, that is right.
Yeah, that's the medical model. Its focus is on cure, and the problem is not generalized to be society or environmental. It's looked at as your problem, and that can be cured by a medical intervention. This psychological model views a disability as a behavioral construct influenced by individuals' thought, feeling, and belief or skills. So, uh-huh. So you find that if a child got an issue here on the eye and is told that eye will not be able to, we doubt whether it will be recovered. It will see again. That child mentally, psychologically, the child can start closing the eye and closes it. That when she opens and sees that light is entering, oh, closes again until the eye closes. Psychologically, it is a thought, it's a feeling, it's a belief until somebody insists you have got to keep the eyes open. Mm, because the eye is now not used to light.
There's a tendency of some people doing like this. Yes, when he's pondering,
Mm. And if he continues,
seen,
yes.
one eye is closed, but then well, I don't know whether they can also change alternate this way that you have done enough and then, but it is common.
Mm.
Some does with one eye.
A boy in P3,
Yes.
he could close one eye and sees with one eye. So the teachers were like, why do you close one eye and use this other one? So they advised the mother to take the child to the hospital. So when they took the child to the hospital, the doctor said that he's overstraining this eye. He's having issues with this one. So he has to close this one and uses one. So when he was taken to the hospital, this one he was overstraining was covered.
Yeah.
Was covered such that he also uses this one.
Mm.
When the sight was stabilized, they removed what they had used it to cover. And he's now
psychological model or the medical model?
They use
the medical model.
they use the medical model. But in
Sekatawa Yasi, we were at Nkuba Primary. The boy would sleep, he used to sit in front, so he would sleep with one eye. It took us time to know that the guy would sleep with one eye. So one day Mr. Mwap Patrick entered, tiptoeing like this. We recognize his presence. But the guy stayed with him one shape, one version of this. The found it. They said, what is it?
You thought the man was sick.
Yeah, we thought the
Mm.
guy was sick. That's when it came to realize that the guy was sick. And then he later, after the lesson, he explained was it. Me, I can speak with one eye.
How is that one related to the psychological?
So,
Just emphasize.
okay.
Yeah, we
So
just emphasize
with the
that.
psychological model, the mind and the attitude of the person can create a disability by in the psychological model, and thus interventions should be psychological. Like you find children who keep walking with an open mouth,
Oh, yes.
and then by secondary school they are doing it, university it is their way, then they are perceived to be like that until an intervention is done psychologically to challenge. Yes, some mothers come and keep closing the mouth. They want to do it, to pin it. They want to, and they disturb the mind so that each time you feel like it is not,
The mouth is closed.
yeah, the mouth should be closed until the person now normalizes. That is not a medical model. That's not medical. It is psychological. Mm.
But it could also be true that this person keeps the mouth agape just because there is a disability somewhere.
Mm,
You
mm.
cannot continually close the mouth. And therefore, the medical model should also come in to establish exactly what the problem is.
Yeah, yeah. Mm.
Because for us, we could only see that maybe it is a mannerism. This guy wants to keep the mouth agape all the time. And for you people,
Mm.
It grows. As somebody grows.
Mm.
Yeah, it really. And someone may not can go home. Someone may not realize that there is a challenge. So he keeps on.
Mm.
Yes, that's the child who has that problem. When Muguza, the particular time she tries to close the mouth, she does not do that.
Mm. Mm. The medical model and so it's a decision which has to be assessed to see what is really the cause. So which model should we take? It's a social model. Then you have got to work with those parents, with the people around to make sure that the person gets integrated. Psychological, you have got to reform the perspective, the mind, and and have the person. Yeah. So members, I would like to close this here.